Today, we're diving into one of the most profound mysteries ever left behind by a true genius, Nikola Tesla's secret understanding of death, and some pretty compelling evidence that suggests you never actually die.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if he knew something about the very fabric of existence that modern science is only just now starting to catch up to? A secret that flips the script on everything we think we know about what happens when our time is up.
So, the official story is pretty simple. He was 86 years old, and the brilliant inventor died alone. Seems like an open and shut case, just a quiet end to a truly extraordinary life. But the official story leaves out the really strange parts. The details around his death are anything but simple.
Yeah, this is where it gets weird. Police officers who arrived on the scene actually reported that the air in the room was emitting this soft, blue glow from some unknown source. And Tesla, who died all alone, had this serene, peaceful smile on his face. And then, almost immediately, the FBI sweeps in and seizes everything, every document, every notebook, research that to this day is still classified. So you have to wonder, what did they find and what did Tesla know?
To even begin to understand his ideas on death, you first have to get a handle on how he saw reality itself. And for him, it all boiled down to one single core concept.
Now, this isn't just some clever quote you see on a motivational poster, okay? For Tesla, this was the master key to everything. He truly believed that everything, from the biggest stars in the sky to our own thoughts, was all operating on these basic principles. And yeah, for him, that absolutely included consciousness itself.
Just stop and think about that for a second. Who is it that's hearing these words right now? I mean, sure, your brain is a 3-pound organ processing electrical signals, but who is the observer of that process? That quiet, always-on awareness in the background. That, to Tesla, was true consciousness.
And this right here is the radical jump. Conventional science tells us that consciousness is just a byproduct of all that complicated activity in our brains. But Tesla, he turned that idea completely on its head. He suggested that consciousness is fundamental to the universe, and the brain is more like an antenna, a receiver that tunes into consciousness and translates it into our physical experience.
Now look, this wasn't just some philosophical idea for him. He believed it because it was something he experienced firsthand in what might be one of the most dangerous self-experiments in history.
Picture this. It's 1903 at his Wardenclyffe Tower. His dream of free, wireless energy for the world is collapsing around him. So he conducts what he called the final test. He basically subjected his own body to a massive electrical charge, believing that if he pushed his biology to be absolute edge, he could actually perceive a reality beyond our normal 5 senses.
And in his private journal, he wrote about what happened next. His vital signs just stopped. The world dissolved into pure light, and then he felt a presence. Not a person, not a physical being, but this ancient, massive consciousness just observing him. And the name he gave this presence is, let's just say it's a bit of a shocker. He called it Lucifer. But before you jump to any conclusions, you really have to understand what he meant by that word.
Okay, so this had nothing to do with religion or evil or any of that. For a man like Tesla, it was about the literal original meaning of the word, the light bearer. It was the ultimate bringer of knowledge, an encounter with the pure, observing consciousness that he believed was underneath all of existence.
And this experience, this contact, it cemented his entire theory. It connected all the dots for him, his understanding of energy, vibration, and the nature of our own awareness. And it all led to one incredibly powerful conclusion.
And what's wild is that this all builds on a principle that you probably learned in high school science class. It's one of the most basic, undeniable laws of our entire universe.
Yep, the first law of thermodynamics. It's the rule that governs everything. The energy from the sun becomes life in a plant. The energy in that plant becomes fuel for an animal. The form always changes, but the total amount of energy is never, ever lost.
So, if we just follow Tesla's premise for a moment, that consciousness isn't some ghost in the machine, but is a fundamental energy, a specific frequency.
Well, then the logical next step is just unavoidable. How can something be destroyed if the very laws of physics say that energy is indestructible? The answer is, it can't. In this view, death isn't an end at all. It's just a transition. The focused energy of your consciousness, which is right now localized inside your body, simply disperses. It returns to the universal field. You don't disappear, you just delocalize.
This idea completely reframes everything we think we know about who we are and what we are. It suggests that our biggest, deepest fear is maybe just based on a huge misunderstanding.
Think about it this way. Biologically, you are not the same person you were 7 years ago. Seriously, every single one of your cells has been replaced. Your body is just this constantly changing, regenerating vessel. So if all the physical parts are always in flux, how can they possibly be the real, permanent you?
You're not the hardware. You are the silent observer that's experiencing reality through that hardware. You are the awareness wearing the body like a suit of clothes, here to experience this specific reality at this specific frequency just for a little while.
And that really brings us to the ultimate takeaway from Tesla's strange and brilliant work. His goal wasn't to become immortal in some physical sense. It was to understand reality so deeply that he realized death was an illusion the whole time. There's no battle to win because there was never an enemy in the first place.
And so we're left with the question that Tesla's entire life's work seems to be asking all of us. After everything we've just gone through, what do you think you are? Are you the body? Or are you the awareness that's wearing it?